Behold, a virgin shall conceive. In Christian Bibles, this will refer to Isaiah 7:14. However, what happens when we look at Isaiah 7:14 in the Hebrew? The word used to refer to the person who will conceive is Alma. The word Alma, literally translated, means a young woman. It does not speak about virginity at all. And we can see proof of this if we flip over to Proverbs 30:19, where we see that an adulterous woman is called a young woman. The context there is that King Solomon is comparing an adulterous woman to an eagle that flies through the sky, a ship that sails through the sea, and a snake that slithers across a rock. None of them leave any trace behind, just like an adulterous woman who removes the evidence. The point being is that an adulterous woman very specifically has had a sexual relationship. It cannot connote virginity. So the Christian translations for this verse are completely wrong. Now, there will be people who will say that the Septuagint translates this word as a virgin. What is the Septuagint? The Septuagint was a translation from Hebrew to Greek that was done by 72 Jewish sages. Now, this Septuagint that the Jewish sages translated is no longer in existence. And even Christian scholars will concede this point. We do not have the Septuagint of those days in our possession. If you go to Amazon or if you go to a Christian bookstore and you buy a Septuagint or a Septuagint LXX, that's actually the handiwork of the church. They inserted the word virgin where the Jewish sages never inserted it. How do we know? The original Septuagint was only of the 5 books of Moses. It was done before Isaiah was even written. Let's get back to the word that speaks of this woman. Not only does it say a young woman instead of a virgin, it actually says the young woman. Ha-Alma. Let's look at the context. If you read chapter 7 of Isaiah, you will see that King Ahaz, the king over the kingdom of Judah, was being attacked by 2 armies. One was Pekah, who was coming from the northern kingdom of Israel, and the other one was Rezin, a non-Jewish king who was also attacking Ahaz's kingdom. Ahaz was living in a state of fear, and yet Isaiah came to him and he said, "Don't worry." He said, "Request a sign from God and know that you will pull out of the siege, that your kingdom will still survive." Ahaz said, "I'm not going to do that." Isaiah speaks about a woman, the woman in Hebrew. Isaiah tells them that not only is this young woman, who is known to both the speaker and the listener, already pregnant and that she's going to have a baby during the siege, but that the sign will be that when he grows up a little bit and he matures to the point that he knows between good and evil, he will already be eating delicacies. He will be eating cream and he will be eating honey. Things that people don't have during the siege. You see, the context of chapter 7 in Isaiah has absolutely nothing to do with a future prophecy about a Messiah. But some Christians will say, "Oh, it has a dual prophecy. You're right. Like those days, that's what you're going to read about. You're going to read about Ahaz in that chapter, but there's a dual prophecy that there will be a virgin in future times." Now, even if we ignore the fact that Alma cannot be translated as virgin, this rings entirely hollow, because if it were a dual prophecy, and if we could translate that word as virgin, it would mean that there would be not 1, but 2 virgins. 1 in the days of Ahaz and 1 in the days of Jesus. And if that would be true, what would be so miraculous about Jesus' birth? It was already done. So in this video, we hit upon the point that Ha-Alma is the young woman in the present tense who was known to both the speaker and the listener, who had already conceived and would give birth to a child, and the sign would be that the child would be eating delicacies by the time the war was ended. And if it were a dual prophecy, that means that there would be 2 virgins who would conceive and have children, thereby making Jesus' birth not necessarily so miraculous. Moreover, we have discussed the fallacy of the common Septuagint, and we have also laid to rest the myth that Isaiah 7:14 speaks about a virgin when it absolutely does not speak about virginity in any form. My dear Christian friends, I say this with love to you. You have been lied to. You have been fooled. The wool has been pulled over your eyes. The Christian church has been tampering with the Jewish Bible since its advent. It is so important to really examine in context and to read the Bible for yourself. I'm going to provide you with some great resources in a coming video that you can go and you can start doing this own research on your own. I'm just another voice. I am just another person who is frustrated at the claims of Christianity that target my Jewish brethren, that has been the basis for tremendous anti-Semitism and Jew murder throughout the years. I am frustrated at the missionaries who are coming into the Jewish community and spiritually slitting the wrist of my Jewish brethren. I am so tired about the lies regarding our Torah that are being perpetuated by missionaries. And most of them don't even know that these are lies. Otherwise, they would leave the church and they would truly seek the God of Israel. If they were Jewish, they will return to the Jewish religion. And if they are not Jewish, they will serve God as a righteous non-Jew. It doesn't take much. There are 7 laws for all of humanity for us to work in tandem, serving the God of Israel. These laws unite us in a healthy, moral society. I beg of you, dear Christian friends, keep digging, keep searching. Don't swallow things hook, line, and sinker. Seek out the truth for yourself. If you seek God, you will find him. Keep following. We are going to keep going more in depth. We are going to reveal more of the lies of the church.